for more. Let's cross live now to Tel Aviv, where our reporter Andrew Hilliar is standing by. And yet more Palestinian deaths being reported. The Israeli military, as we heard there, has been giving a roundup of the situation on the 3-month anniversary of the start of the war. What is the latest?
Yeah, indeed. The Israeli military saying it has completely dismantled Hamas's command structures in the north of the Gaza Strip. Spokesperson you heard there saying that fighters now operating in the northern parts of the Gaza Strip were doing so sporadically and without any commanders. What that means is that Israel can now focus much of its firepower on central and southern parts of the Gaza Strip as it continues to try to root out Hamas command structures right across the territory. But all of that, those military gains, of course, coming at a huge cost to human life. The health ministry in the Gaza Strip that's run by Hamas says that more than 22,000 Palestinian civilians have been killed since war broke out back in October. And of course, we know that much of the territory's 2.3 million people are now internally displaced, and much of the Gaza Strip, people's homes and businesses completely flattened.
And Andy, you were in Tel Aviv after the Hamas attacks back in October. How has sentiment changed in Israel since you first reported from there?
Yeah, well, our team, that's Melina Huet and myself, were first here in Israel just after the massacres on October 7th. We arrived here in Tel Aviv, and the difference between now and then is quite remarkable. Back then, people were in complete shock. The streets were completely empty. I think many people were still trying to come to terms with the brutality of what had happened. There were daily rocket alarms. People grew used to stopping everything they were doing and running for cover in bomb shelters. It was something we saw ourselves on a daily basis. And now, this time round, Tel Aviv is bustling with people. I think there is a certain sense of war weariness here, but there is also a kind of feeling of normality. Of course, you never know how long that will last here. I think it's also worth mentioning back in October that our team also spent a lot of time reporting from northern Israel. Because back then, of course, there were huge fears, and there still are today, huge fears, of course, of spillover, of a second front opening with Hezbollah. 3 months later, that still hasn't happened. And if that hasn't happened, it's because it means countries like Israel, regional actors like Hezbollah, and of course, Hezbollah's backers, Iran, which provides the militant group with financial and military support, they've decided that it's not worth the risk of an all-out war. So they've contained their actions for now. But of course, the risk is still there. And we've seen that in the past few days with an increase of attacks across that northern border.